What is alert and oriented? Why do we care from a legal perspective if someone is alert and oriented? That's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Okay, alert and oriented, sometimes called awake, alert, and oriented, or ANO or AAO, and there will be a ×2, ×3, ×4. Alert and oriented, or awake, alert, and oriented, is referring to someone's mental condition, being alert and oriented to their person, who they are, place, where are they located, and time. Do they know the approximate time of day or the day of the week or the year, right? Are they alert and oriented as to what's going on around them? This is a shorthand designation used by medical personnel to determine whether or not the person knows what they're doing, where they are, and whether they have the capacity to make medical decisions on behalf of themselves, or whether the doctors ought to be looking to a healthcare surrogate or someone who's the power of attorney. Awake, alert, and oriented ×3 refers to person, place, and time. And then alert and oriented ×4 is person, place, time, and situation or event, right? Where they are, what's going on. So someone who is completely with it and has their wits about them is going to be alert and oriented ×4 or 5. And essentially that's what we're looking for as attorneys when determining whether or not someone has the capacity to sign a power of attorney. And I always like to point out that we're looking for them to be alert and oriented only for a temporary period of time. This second concept is referred to as a lucid interval. There are plenty of folks who are elderly or after they've had some kind of health event where different days or different times of day will bring different levels of lucidity, meaning they might be alert and oriented ×4 in the morning, and then as the day wears on, they lose their lucidity, and maybe in the beginning of the day they can have an intelligent conversation, but by the end of the day they're very confused and disoriented. They don't know what's going on around them, right? From a legal perspective, we want to make sure a power of attorney is a very important document, and someone has to be able to understand the nature of what they're signing when they sign it. And if they forget all about it the next day or even later on that same day, that's okay, as long as they understood the basic concept of what they were signing when they signed it. So that's when I'm meeting with a client and determining whether or not we can do Medicaid planning or estate planning if they don't already have a good Medicaid compliant power of attorney or healthcare surrogate designation that would empower family members to help make decisions, then we have to do what we call a capacity check, or we'll do a video interview or an in-person interview. It lasts 5 to 10 minutes, and we're documenting for our file whether or not this person has the ability to intelligently sign what we're purporting to put together, right? Do you know who your children are or your spouse is? Do you trust them to make good decisions for you? And as long as they can convince us that that is in fact the case, then we want to try to be helpful, because if they don't have the right documents in place and they're not alert and oriented at any time, there are no lucid intervals, then unfortunately we are stuck with what's known as the guardianship process, which is a much more time-consuming and expensive process than a power of attorney. I tell people all the time that of all the fancy, complex Medicaid and estate planning that we do in our office, there's no more valuable document than I could provide my client than a well-drafted, Medicaid-compliant, durable power of attorney. Because powers of attorney are not one-size-fits-all documents. What might work for banking and maybe basic real estate transactions may not work for the more complex asset protection Medicaid planning strategies that we're typically trying to put together to help our clients not have to spend all their money before they naturally qualify for Medicaid to help pay for home care or ALF care or nursing home care in Florida. But they need good documents sometimes in order for us to do that. And again, whether or not, if they don't have those documents already, whether or not they're alert and oriented, at least at some lucid interval, is going to play a very important role as to the extent at which we're able to help, or whether or not there will be a delay in us being able to help because we got to go to court to be able to make decisions. So hope you found this helpful. Being alert and oriented during a lucid interval is a very, very important concept concept to understand. I hope I've made it a little bit clearer. If you have any questions about Medicaid planning or estate planning throughout the state of Florida, please give us a call. We'd be happy to help set up a consultation. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and share it so we can help make other Floridians more educated legal consumers. Thank you for watching.